Good morning, everybody. Good morning, very, very good morning. I have a bad throat because last time when I came on to speak, I said, wow, how is it that I'm never able to have the nice, groggy voice like a moderator? So the Almighty said, next time you get it. So I have it now. I am full of cold and cough, so my throat is more groggy. Looking back at RAI, I do want to retrospect to say that in the last 12 years of RAI, it took us a lot of effort before we could actually set this association called Retail Association of India. 3 failed attempts before 5 or 6 of us from the industry got together and finally managed to set up. The one learning that I can share on this platform is, like anything else in India, you require perseverance and not the attitude to sprint, but the attitude to run a marathon. And in between marathon, you can keep sprinting. But I think marathon is important. So it's nice to be here in front of you on the 12 years of RAI. And this is also the 8th year of Retail Leadership Summit. Like anybody in India, any businessman, when he starts, the first thing he says is, can I create $1 billion enterprise? Without having the first million in the pocket. I remember the first Retail Leadership Summit we actually had the whole NSC grounds. That's almost half a square kilometer. Okay, and we had about a few hundred people. And we wondered what happened. Okay, but thanks to the leadership of RAI in terms of Mr. Kumar and erstwhile Gibson, we didn't give up, and we ensured that it kept going on and on. And today I'm told we have 550 plus registration, so we're going to see a hall full. So one big learning from the past, don't give it up. As long as you are determined to what you want to achieve, continue, and it'll happen. Starting from there, RAI and Retail Leadership Summit, we had some more learnings. You know, when you set up an association, you always feel that you are going to talk, you are going to direct, you are going to tell everybody what you have to do. We realized that was not the way we could actually set up the association. This is a very unique association. Although it's an association of all retailers, almost every act of the association is driven by committees and members, which is very unique. I find it very, very unique. As people on the board, we find that every issue in the industry, within the industry, for the industry, in the association, a quick committee of retail representatives come together. They look at the problem, they look at the opportunity, they work together, and they create this solution. So I would like to urge those of you who are members or who are not members to become members. Those of you who are members but have not actively participated, please do participate because this association is for you. And I can tell you when we have the highest participation. You know, when one of the government tells us that we will grant you this permission to all people who are retail association members, you know, that day the membership jumps. Everybody wants to become a member, you know, because you're going to get benefit. No, I think we are looking at creating a great synergy between us and all the stakeholders. So please look at RAI as an association, which is your association, to build it up. Coming to some of the things that RAI has done over the last few years, I would like to take 2 things especially and talk about it. One is RASCI, the Retail Association Skill Council of India. That has done a marvelous work in the last few years. Starting as one of the skill councils in the country, today it's become the leading skill council. Last year, I think they did more than 250,000 people who were skilled and enrolled in the country. What a job that RASCI has done, and we all should be proud as a retail association. It has not only become the leader in the skill council area, but it also has started working with the NSDA to see that it adopts many more sector skills and lead things. And I must say that each one of us who is here have to really adopt RASCI as part of a charter, because without that it will be very difficult for us to grow. Now, what am I saying? We keep talking about attrition in retail and how do we get people. How do we get more people into the industry, into our sector, into our company? One big opportunity for us is, before we start looking at attrition and say, how do we get more people within the company, can we look at retention and say, how can we retain more people within the company? I think this is a big shift that we as industry has to take. And for that shift to happen, I think RASCI is a godsend opportunity for us. Just imagine if all of our employees, and today in the modern retail, there are about 2 million employees who work with us, out of the total 35 million employees who work for the retail sector. Just imagine if 2 million retail employees who are currently 10th pass, 10th fail, get certified through the RASCI certification, which is a government-supported, government-approved, NSDA-approved certification. And tomorrow when they are standing next to another person who's a graduate, and he says, I'm a graduate in art, and he says, I'm an L4 certified in retail, what amount of pride that will create? And I think this is very, very important. So RASCI has moved this needle in a big way. I would recommend and request the industry players and leaders to adopt it. What if we create a dream that by 2020, every employee who works for any retailer, whether it's a modern retailer or a retailer who's getting modernized, will be a RASCI certified retail expert? I mean, what a dream that we can actually create, yeah? And if James is there somewhere in the hall or his representatives, I think we should really look at saying, can we lead this? Can we actually have an I pledge from all retailers to say, we will ensure by 2020 every employee is retail certified? So that's a big thing that RASCI has done. And RASCI is a 100% subsidiary of RAI, so we are proud of RAI for that. The second big area which RAI has worked is, for about 5 years back, we were not even recognized by any government body. We were never called for any government representations. We tried our best to meet the chief ministers and prime ministers, but this kind of privileges went to almost always the Walmarts and the IKEAs of the world who got an appointment in a jiffy, whereas we have tried for years and never got an appointment. But in the last 3 years, 5 years, good work has got recognized. We have been called by various governments to work with them to actually work on retail policy for the state governments. We are currently working with 4 state governments, but we hope, and we are very keen, because RAI is based out of Maharashtra, and 60% or 65% of all modern retailers are based out of Maharashtra, that the first formal retail policy document is created with RAI and the Maharashtra government and is announced by the Maharashtra government, and that's our wish in RAI. And this is a big day that we are waiting for, because that will actually bring in a big change in the way modern retail is looked at. Are we looking at reinventing ourselves? Yes. We need to really see if there's a way we can actually get into not only looking at external collaborations, but internal collaborations. What can retailers do to internally look at saying, how can we actually become part of this whole modernizing effort? And this is not only big retailers, but it's also small retailers. Because, like our host of the day said, that whatever happens every day morning, we have to get up because we have to open the shop. It's no more valid now. Because now, we never close our shop. Because you're actually at 24/7. You are an omni-channel, or you are an online, or the fact that the customer is awake the whole night shopping, you cannot shut your shop. So that's the change that we are seeing in the external environment. What can we do to make and bring these changes internally? Instead of saying online is a threat, can we adopt online as a business? Can we internally talk about how online can make a difference and make it an omni-channel player? So there are a lot of thinking that we need to do internally, and RAI is ready to support all the retailers going forward to bring this kind of a cultural change. And we look forward to this change happening within the country. RAI has been supporting modern retailers. One area where we would like the governments to really come forward and look at this so-called Dukandar community or a shoppers community or a retailers community to be seen as a proper industry. In the absence of this, people who already have resources and have become so-called modern or have become large are there, but this number is very few, very few. If you look at the 10 to 12 million retailers in the country, 8 million is established because from Hindustan Levers to Nestle to P&G, everybody says that they have direct or indirect coverage of 8 million retailers. So we know there are 8 million retailers. But a lot of studies tell us that there is between 10 to 12 million retailers. Out of that, there are hardly about 1% who come from large groups, less than that. What do we do for retailers who want to modernize themselves? What do we do for retailers who want to grow? What do we do for them who wants to garner new resources? I mean, can they be funded? Can they be motivated to grow in the business? Yes, it is possible. So my submission again to all the government across the country, whether it is central, state, local bodies, is to encourage retailers also and see if we can give them the benefit of loans, benefit of support in order to make it future ready and future proof. And there, I think the governments will have to reinvent themselves to look at small retailers. With this, I hope that we are no more talking of brick and mortar retailers, because in the hall we have people from online, in the hall we have people from TV shopping, in the hall we have people who are doing multi-level retailing. So therefore, friends, we are now entering an era, or already have entered an era of retailing, where Retail Association of India will be looking at every channel, every way the retailer connects to its consumer, which is our shops are open 24/7. We don't close our shops at all. And we are going to meet the needs of you as consumers 24/7. With that hope, I believe the next 2 days will be very encouraging for all of us because of the kind of leaders and speakers that we have with us and the kind of topics. Last request, please do ask questions. Please do get involved. Don't leave the speakers and the panelists without really grilling them, because they all are sitting with hundreds of years of combined wealth with them. Please extract the best out of it. Thank you very much, and all the best.